Good evening, or good morning rather. So last night, they were hitting me crazy. They were basically focusing like directed energy or frequency. I think it's more directed energy towards my one of my tooth. I already have all four of my wisdom teeth taken out. But there's one particular tooth. Yeah. You see that one? That one, they were hitting that one like crazy because it had those they're like metal fillings. So it was like, man, they were going crazy. So I don't know. It was just instinctual. First, I started taking the stones, putting it towards the tooth. So I was like, okay, that's not working. So then I said, okay, I got my stack of magnets. So as you seen in the previous video, I took my magnet wand and I was just like, not a wand, but it was just like my stack of magnets. And I started just like tracing it around my head, and you could feel like the different, it's like, I could feel like it's almost like the angle at which wherever the beam or frequencies was coming from, it was like changing, So it's like, imagine if something was going straight down, but it has a magnetic energy to it. So me moving the magnets around that energy, it was almost as if like it was shifting or moving the, golly, I wish I knew how to explain this. Because if something is like a magnetic energy beam or like a light energy beam, and you take something that has a stronger magnetic pole and you move it around it, it was almost like it was like shifting it around. Think of like how a flame flickers, right? So imagine if I was using a magnet, and every time I move the magnet around that flame, the flame actually bent to a different or opposite direction of the magnet. And that's what was happening when I was moving the magnet around. Then, but I realized when I started moving the magnet up to here, that's when I started to realize there's an angle. There was an angle where the I guess the frequencies or the beam was coming from. I realized there's an angle, like it was coming down. So that's when I decided, I took one of the magnets, right? I took one of the magnets and I literally, I put it on top of the tooth, and then I kind of lightly bit down on it. Shortly after doing that, that's when I started to feel like, I started to feel like the pain is starting to subside, and then I could hear them through the transmissions. They were basically like, oh no, this dude, he's a professional. So I'm like, because this whole secret society is just it's just a slew, a plethora, a network of hive-minded, criminals basically, and then they're portraying themselves to be a secret society, but they're not a secret. Well, I mean, they move like a secret society, but at the end of the day, they're like a mix of a whole bunch of look, if you moving weight, whatever, I don't really care. But from all the other testimonies I've been hearing about people all across the city and across the country, I mean, it's everything from pedophilia to human trafficking to basically voyeurism, to people who basically have a fetish in watching others getting tortured, and then on top of that, I've heard some stories about parents who are targeted individuals, showing videos of their children being hit with directed energy, swollen or panda eyes, and burn marks on their body. Young girls saying that they felt like someone was touching them, but no one was there. So I don't know, man. People, I can't believe people are actually okay with everything that they're doing. But like I said, a lot of people don't want to go against something that they don't know how to defend themselves against. Me, I'm willing to die trying before I just let somebody have control over my life. So little by little, I'm finding out ways on how to defend myself. It ain't all perfect and it ain't all pretty, but I refuse to allow them to Myron May me. I refuse to allow them to Aaron Alexis me. I'm not going to let them turn me into a violent person. All I'm going to do is I'm going to basically give it to God, and then, God is going to help me find a way to at least sustain myself and watch as this snowball continue rolling, and, well, basically all the traps that they set upon for me, God is going to help me step right around them or step right over them. And every trap that they set, may they fall for their own traps. Every sword that they draw out, may they fall on their own swords. Every time that they pull a bow and arrow, and get ready to shoot, may their bows break in half, or that arrow actually come back, take a trip around the world, and hit them right back, hit them right in the back. So I'm doing the best that I can. Anyone who's known me for some time, they know that I'm not a violent person. They know that I don't do anything wrong to people. But and I get it. If you know me and you were part of this whole thing and you just doing what you feel like you gotta do to survive, look, I don't hate you for it. I really don't hate you for it. I just think it's man. I just think it's kind of sad that you willing to not even fight for your life. You just basically just allowing people to just control how you live your life. But it's all right. Everybody got choices, right? That's why when I know when I leave this earth, I made some pretty darn good choices that God still blesses me, for making. So. But yeah, just wanted to let everybody know that, like, if you ever have that feeling where, like, they're hitting your teeth with, directed energy or frequencies, remember these neodymiums, place them by your teeth, or at least just try it, see what happens, But I'm not the only TI that's been talking about using the magnets against, like, certain parts of your bodies whenever they're using their attacks and whatnot. These things, they do something. And, hey, they keep me going. So, as always, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.